Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Double, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm coming at you with a settings guide, an ultimate settings guide for Rocket League, what I use for all my settings, and what I recommend for you guys, controls-wise, camera settings, and all that. So, personally, I use a PS4 controller, so the binds and stuff like that are going to be tailored to PS4 controllers, but it works the same for, the dead zones work for any controller. If you use KBM, a lot of these settings might not apply, but you can still see what I use and stuff like that. So just starting out here with the gameplay, split screen layout is if you play split screen, that's not a huge deal. Check this if you want to play, with console players, if you're on PC and vice versa. I just keep client send rate on high. I think for the most part, that's probably the best. And input buffer I have on CSTS. If you have, I change this based on where I am. So if you have, I would recommend choosing either STS or CSTS. This will impact how the ball moves and what it feels like with ping. So if you have really good internet all the time, I would choose STS because that's going to be the most accurate for bounces and ping stuff. And so when I'm at a place that has really good internet, I'll use that. For now, I use CSTS, and that's if you're getting those occasionally you're getting those hits where it's they hit it and it's super delayed, or it kind of glitches in and out. This will help with that. So this is a really important setting, so definitely check one of those. And if you're having weird issues, you can always try default, because sometimes these can be weird. Show competitive divisions. This is just if you want to see, divisions of the rank that you're in. Show competitive ranks. That's the same thing. Personal preference. Force default team colors. I just have so that, what's it called? Just so I don't have to see the team colors for if it's a club team or whatever. It works most of the times. Main stats only. This is just what notifications you want to get. If you don't want to get game stats, you can turn that on and off, and this is just pick for the tournament wherever you're from. Here are my camera settings. Definitely recommend turning off camera shake if you have that off, or on rather. It's not good. I use these camera settings: 110, 270, 100, -4, 0.45, 6.7, and 1.7. Field of view is just going to adjust. Let me go into free play real quick just so I could show you. This is not free play. So field of view is just going to adjust, how much of the field you can see. It's going to show your FOV. So how much your car can see when you're on in the stadium. Obviously, when you turn this down, you can't see as much. And this is not good. I think you pretty much just want this at max, if not 109. Distance is just how far the camera is from your car. So if I turn this all the way up, now my car is super small, and I don't really recommend this. I mean, it works and you can see more of the field, which can be helpful. But you want to be, close enough to the ball where you can still make consistent touches on it, and it's hard to do that when you're that far away. So I use 270. A good range is anywhere from 250 to 300, I think. Height is just how high the camera sits. So now the camera is a lot higher on the car. I use 100. Angle is the angle at which the camera points down at your car. So if I lower it to -8, it's kind of a similar effect with how high the car is, and then vice versa. When I lower that down or increase it, it's lower to the ground here, which is really trippy. I use -4. Stiffness is how much the camera is impacted when you're moving around, and when you get to supersonic speed. So you'll see my car does not stay in the perfect center of the screen as I'm drifting. Camera kind of has to keep up with it. And when I go to supersonic speed, it also jolts back a little there as well. And the lower your stiffness is, the more that's gonna happen. So you see how far my car is going away from the camera now? And now when I hit supersonic speed, it's super far away. And it's vice versa with stiffness as well. If you turn it up to the max, your camera will not move at all. Like, it'll have one jolt when you hit supersonic, and that's it. When I'm moving, my car is perfectly still. So this can be good for some people. A lot of people like max stiffness. I used to play with it years ago, but I do not use it anymore. But personal preference, I use 0.45. Swivel speed is how fast, using your right analog stick, how fast the camera moves around. This is a personal preference. I like it pretty sensitive, just so I can like quickly, look. I use 6.7, and transition speed is how fast your camera goes from car cam to ball cam. I like 1.7. It's pretty quick, a little bit quicker than a lot of people use, but I like that fast pace. A lot of people use, or not a lot, but some people use instant transition speed, which really just throws me off. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you like it, go for it. And invert swivel is just which way you push your joystick, how it moves your camera. I keep invert on. All right, here are my steering and aerial sensitivities and stuff. This is really just personal preference. These are what I use. Controller dead zone, I have at 0.09. I feel like it's kind of low. Just helps with, how your stick's moving. And I just moved my dodge dead zone from 0.4 to 0.6. If you're backflipping a lot when you're going for, double jump aerials or speed aerials, turn this up. And if you're struggling with doing stalls and stuff like that, also turn it up. But you don't want it too high. So 0.4 to 0.8, 0.4 to 0.7-ish is where you want to be. Turn off controller vibration. Turn ball camera mode to toggle. And this is just if you're on KBM. I don't use that. All right, here are my bindings. They're pretty similar to the default bindings, more or less. So, right trigger go forward, left trigger go back, jumps on X. If you're on Xbox, it's A. Boost is on circle. Power slide is on L1, as well as air roll, and ball cam is on triangle. This is just movement in the air. I use air roll right, air roll left, and normal air roll. My air roll right is on my left stick, so when I push my left stick down, I'll spin right. That looks like this. So I'm spinning to the right. And my air roll left is on R1, so when I press the right bumper of my controller, I'll spin left, and I use that one the most. Definitely think you should learn directional air roll, and I'll be coming out with a video on how to master that soon, so stay tuned. Let's see. I think I accidentally just moved that. Let's see. This is just camera swivel stuff. I have my scoreboard on square because I don't use square for anything. The rest of these are really personal preference. You can scroll through, pause whenever you need to if you want to look. Reset shot is also on square. Use item for rumble is on share. And yeah. Interface scale, I have these set to 99, 100, and 160. You could probably set this to 100. I don't know why it's set to 99, but that's how I have it. Nameplate scale you want to be bigger, more or less. I don't like it too big, so I just have it on 160%, but you can go maximum if you want. Nameplate mode, I would keep it on default. This is for notifications in game. So the other one was for stats. These are like notifications. I have them set to all, but that's personal preference. These blinkers just show if you're lagging. I used to have it off. It's on right now. Colorblind mode will change the look of the game a little bit. The orange team colors will be locked on orange, and the oranges in the game will look a little bit more yellow. I have it off for now, but a lot of pros use colorblind mode. Social notifications during gameplay is just if you get invited, you'll get notified. These are all personal preferences. I'm from the US, so I don't have metric on, but a lot of people use that. I like the team colored boost meter. If you don't have this on, the boost meter is red. When you have full boost, if you have it on, if you're on blue team, it's blue. If you're on orange team, it's orange. Cool. It's just cool looking. Ball cam indicator and ball arrow are nice. Personal preference. Keep that off. And yeah, my video settings. Everything is pretty much turned off for video settings, and everything else is turned to the lowest on this right side at least. Sometimes I turn the world detail to high quality, which you can see the grass blades if you do that. You get a little bit more lighting, and the streaks behind the ball, there are more streaks behind the ball instead of just one, as you can see there. But usually I keep that on performance. Here just select your monitor's resolution if you're on PC. A lot of these won't show up if you're on console, so just do what you can. Turn off VSync for sure and play on full screen. Turn off anti-aliasing. Render quality, if you can run it, is high quality. Render detail is just all this. And frames per second, you can cap it to your monitor. I have it on uncapped right now, but I'm using a 240 hertz monitor. But that's entirely up to you. These are just audio settings. This is personal preference for what you want to be loud. I turned most of the ambient and crowd sounds mostly all the way down. This just affects the music. Output type, I'm on headphones, so I just have dynamic range on default. Everything's turned on. I have player anthems turned all the way down, so I don't hear them anyway. And these are chat options. So this is all really just personal preference. You know, select your mic, your headphones, if you use voice chat. Here you can select if you want to see quick chats. If you don't like getting quick chatted on in game, you can turn that off just by turning it off there. Excuse me. And these are where you can adjust, you know, which quick chats go to which binds. And yeah, that is those are all my settings. I hope that helped. A lot of people have been asking me, you know, what I use for what. And I just wanted to show you guys, kind of give you my 2 cents on what you should use. And yeah, those are my opinions. Hope that helps you guys. And thank you so much for watching the video. I'll catch y'all next time. And yeah, peace out. Thanks, guys.